So listen, guys, thanks for joining us today. I want to give you a quick backdrop for those of you that may have not been familiar with the day-to-day of Grant Cardone. He's a private equity fund manager, real estate investor, literally the recognized authority on business growth, sales, and wealth. He's the founder and CEO of Cardone Capital, New York Times bestselling author of 11 books, including, 10X. And, he's the creator of the 10X Growth Conference, Wealth Conference. One of the things that really caught my eye, though, Grant, is you also have Cardone Training Technologies, which is serving over 850,000 people and companies, including Forbes 100 clients. Star of Undercover Billionaire Season 2. You've got a foundation, and probably most importantly, husband, father to your wife, Elena, and Sabrina and Scarlett. So welcome to the show, man. I appreciate you being here.
Hey, great to have, great to be with you, and just love what you guys are doing. So, and a big fan of your audience, man. Your audience is hustlers and entrepreneurs and business owners and startups and small business owners. This is the backbone of America. It's what makes this country great. It is the thing that makes any country what it is. And the fact that you guys are serving that clientele and that customers, pretty extraordinary.
Well, I think you've got that background of leadership and impact and family, and so you're pretty much all rounded out. But I wanted to kind of right off the bat cut right to the chase. Franklin Planner Lead Your Life. They're focused on, obviously, Dr. Covey's 7 habits and what matters most and first things first. So I guess I'll just ask you right out of the chutes, what matters the most to you?
Yeah, the thing that matters most to me is how I feel about myself. And I think
I love it.
We don't hear a lot about, what we talk about what other people think about us, but before there was my wife and kids and the company and the customers and the investors, there was me. And I need to feel good about me when I go to sleep. That's why I do what I do, whatever I do. Like yesterday, my daughter and I had lunch together at the office. Somebody picked up the plates, brought them over to the dishwasher, put them in the dishwasher, didn't clean them out before they went in the dishwasher. I saw it later. I went in there and cleaned them out and then put them in the dishwasher. I mean, it's just the right thing to do. It's like, and then the lady was like, "Oh, I'll do it." I'm like, "No, you already had a chance to do it and you didn't. So how about I'll just do it? And I don't mind doing it. There's no job below me, but I didn't do it. I did it because it's the right thing to do, right? If I go into a public bathroom and there's tissues on the floor and somebody else dropped them there, I'm going to pick them up. I'm not doing that because it's I have some moral obligation. I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do. And I'm not going to feel good about myself if I pass it up. I think the opportunity to do any kind of work and to complete any task it's a gift from God. And so whether I get paid or don't get paid doesn't really matter to me. It's like, if there's work to do it. Complete the task, do a good job, go home at night, feel good about yourself. Then you have the shot to be a good dad, a good husband, a good community leader. Maybe you get to be,
Yeah.
You're not even guaranteed that if you do that.
Yeah. Well, without it, you don't, right? I love it because it really is how you do anything is how you do everything. And,
Yeah.
you wrote 10X rule, and that probably goes straight to, if you want to lead your life, you always talk about taking full responsibility, personal responsibility, not just how you do things, but in your life in general. What do you mean by that overall?
Well, it's you don't blame other people for anything, even if they're to blame, because the moment I blame somebody else, even when they're to blame, the moment I blame somebody else for my problem, I lost control and I'm a victim. I don't want to be the victim. So I want to cause the action. I want to be the cause and source of the action so that I can fix that, because I can't fix you. I can fix me.
Yeah.
So if you come up and punch me in the nose, I'm gonna be like, I did that. I don't want you to say that you did that to me. I want to say, no, I did that to me. I did something. I got in the way of your fist. Because the moment I blame you, dude, I lose my ability to determine outcomes. And the moment I blame you for anything, the government, the economy, Trump, Biden, mom, dad, drug dealer, inflation, I've lost control. And what happens for me, and again, I'm just speaking for myself here, but The moment I blame something, I become blind. I no longer see. If I blame inflation or if I blame the government, I am now blind. I become blinded to any opportunities that might lie on the other side of this. And
Yeah. Well,
you can't see opportunities when I'm saying, "Hey, Jerome's the reason this happened."
yeah. Yeah, and that's the mindset, right? I think that one of the things that our audience really believes is that they're going to be leading their life, they're going to be growing, but I think sometimes people get to a certain level, maybe they've got some personal responsibility, but they still come back to no matter where you're at, you have to think bigger, and that's why I like the 10x concept. So you always talk about vision, grow your vision, even with people that have established some wealth or have some success in their life. How do you define for you right now your long-term vision, because you've gone through a lot of different phases in your life and in your business and career, and you're at a whole nother level? How do you continue to grow your vision, and what would you say to individuals that are at a point where they feel successful but they need to expand their vision?
Well, I have I have an affliction. I will admit that I have some abnormal issues. One is I'm never satisfied. Like I suffer from this. Uh, it's a divine discontent. You know, God embedded me with this. I can do more. I got this idea I can do more. You know that there's been a couple of times in my life where I became satisfied with whatever level of success I'd experienced, and both times I ended up becoming very, very unhappy. Um, and so I highly recommend. I think most of America, if you study America, you got a lot of poor people, too many poor people, maybe 15 to 18% of the population's in poverty. You have 10% that are in extreme amounts of wealth, phenomenal amounts of wealth. And then you have this massive, massive, giant group of people called the middle class. Might have been a compliment in 1950. It's not now.
Yeah.
It's this massive group of people that appear to be satisfied, um, but that never seem to get ahead. And this is where, to me, I don't want to be. I don't want to be in that sagging belly of I'm good, only to find out I'm not. I'm fine. And then you're 78 years old. You don't have a purpose. You're going to live another 20 years. You don't have enough money. You don't have purpose. Your body doesn't work. It's terrible, dude. It sounds exhausting to me. Okay. Like you get up in the morning, you're 54 years old, you retired, and you're like, you have a little money in a bank account. By the way, that's getting depleted every day because you're printing money faster.
Mm,
You don't even spend the money. It's going to be depleted because of inflation. You think you have $1 million, but you don't. You're going to live another 40 years. And every single day you're worried about what you spend. Every time you go to the grocery store, you turn on the lights, you flush a toilet. You're like, I wonder how much I'm spending today. You're constantly worried. That's not life.
yeah.
When you're living in the richest country on planet Earth, I mean, this is a $7 trillion economy. Everybody should be making money. We printed
Yeah.
$7 trillion in the last while Biden was there, they printed 7 trillion. Like everybody should be rich. So
Yeah.
Donald Trump's going to print a bunch of money here as soon in 2026. All your the people that are watching your show, y'all should be so excited because they're going to hit print again. Tremendous amounts of money is going to go into the marketplace, expansion. And if you're a real hustler and an entrepreneur and you're creative and you're not satisfied and you're thinking 10x, 10 times bigger.
Yeah.
My daughter came to me, my 16-year-old daughter came to me yesterday and said, Papa, why don't we just buy a Target? I said, what? She said, why don't we buy the company Target? We shop there all the time. I'm like, wow, look how she's thinking,
What a mindset. Yeah.
you know?
You
I've
joke
tried it.
about you. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, I'm just like, I'm like, that's who you want to be surrounded by. My wife,
Yeah.
My wife wants me to do bigger things. My kids want me to do bigger things. And we already live a fairly big life, compared to the way I was raised by a single mom. My dad died when I was 10. My dad probably never made more than 40,000 bucks a year, maybe 50. Um, we were firmly in the middle class, but I'm surrounded by a whole bunch of people who said, don't be satisfied. Keep going, man. Go get all of it. And then your audience is going to be like, yeah, but that doesn't make me happy. You don't know what makes you happy if you don't have it. So
That's right.
Again, this is a mindset, right? Like, people will say no to stuff and they haven't even tried it yet. Hadn't even considered it. I don't need all that. I don't need to be rich. I don't need money. I don't need a yacht. I don't need a plane. How do you know? Or are you just saying no to it because, you don't think you can get that?
Yeah, I've consumed enough of your content to know. You joke about it, backing up. You kind of said, I got this problem. I'm never satisfied. But I almost wonder if it's not actually that you have such a big dream and big vision, because I know you've got a lot of purpose and impact and things you're trying to accomplish. I heard you say on a podcast the other day, you worry more about in the end, the people you didn't help are going to say than the people that did. But your vision and your thing is so big that I feel like is what kind of pulls you in a direction. And maybe that's what people need to do more of, is dream bigger. And then their mission and their purpose is what drives their day-to-day, right? Because I would imagine your day-to-day is driven by this big vision that you have. And that's what drives your decisions.
Well, the government's causing inflation when they print money, and people's dreams have not kept up with inflation. Everything you buy today is more expensive, but your dreams didn't get inflated. So, most people are like, hey, what would it, what's your dream? I'm gonna be a millionaire. Well, that was the dream 30 years ago. That's what people were saying 20 and 30 years ago. They wanted to be a millionaire. You got to inflate with the inflate.
Yeah.
You got to keep putting air in the tires, man.
Yeah, and the definition of wealth has really changed a lot as well. I mean, we just recently had a discussion with someone I heard you talk about on one of your last podcasts, Dr. William Danko, who wrote The Millionaire Next Door. And you talk about wealth. I'm going to talk about wealth for a little bit, obviously, because we got a lot of people in the audience that are focused on that as well. But you always say, you say wealth is a tool, not a destination. People think of like, I'm chasing money, chasing success, but you talk about reframing money as leverage and wealth, as a tool. What do you mean by that?
Well, if you look up the word wealth, if you go back to the 700 years ago, the original word meant health. It meant to be well, W-E-A-L, well. It was not about, and it also means prosperity and affluence and abundance, etc. But the word way back in the original, if you were wealthy, you were well. The wealthiest people were the ones that had the best foods, and they were big. They were big people, right? They were round, and you could tell people. Now, if you were in poverty, you were skinny, right? Because you didn't have food. You didn't have access to food. This is before we had manufactured foods. Fast forward to today. Poor people are the fattest. Obesity is at the poverty levels. Anybody on the SNAP programs has got, I think I saw a number the other day, 80% higher chances of obesity if you're on a SNAP program, meaning government foods. So it flipped, right? Back in the day, wealthy meant a good thing. Today, if you're wealthy, if you say, hey, man, I own a plane. I bought a brand new plane this year. They're like, oh, you're one of the bad guys. You're rich and you shouldn't be rich and it's terrible to be rich. And then you hear all this negative stuff, like even from our families. This has been going on for years. This is not a new thing.
Yeah.
Probably every person listening right now, your mom told you, just because you're rich doesn't mean you're happy. Or maybe they said money won't make you happy. So all I'm saying is money it's a tool. It's not, I'm not trying to accumulate money for the sake of money. I'm trying to.
Well, no,
yeah.
Yeah. And you talk about success being something that it's a requirement of you, like being successful.
I want to win, dude. I want to win. Winning is success is like a vitamin. You know, God created vitamins for us. Okay. Somebody, people often say, why does a billionaire guy look so young? Dude, because he's winning. When you
Yeah.
win, you look young. Everybody has this experience, by the way. You win a lottery ticket right now, something's gonna happen to the structure of your body. Your energy's gonna come up, your enthusiasm. There's gonna be blood's gonna hit your face. Your eyes are gonna pop open. When you're winning, okay, you look different. Okay, there's something spiritually happens, and that's why I say success is my duty. That's not about money, by the way.
Yeah,
And,
and as you get
and
older, a lot of people always, as you achieve success, like a lot of our audience achieve success, or even in life, you get older, you start to level off and plateau. And you're saying it's not just about the money pushing harder for success, it's your health, it's your mindset, your vitality. I've noticed you even doubling down on your health in that area. So when you think of wealth, you're thinking it's the full game. Most successful driven people have daily rituals that are kind of non-negotiables. What are some of the ones, maybe they've changed over time, but like what are some of your non-negotiable daily rituals right now?
Yeah, number one, wake up, man. You got to get up. Okay. Like first thing is make sure you wake up in the morning. Um, when I'm doing great, I did not do this week, but when I'm doing great, I'm beating the sun up. Try to get a workout in every day. Like my body's beat up right now after 5 days of being in front of audiences. So my body's like tortured. And I told my daughter, I said, hey, should I go get on the bike? I don't want to. I'm hurting. I'm like, nah, I'll feel better if I do it. So I went and got on the bike, did some ab work this morning. Didn't want to. Trust me, I didn't want to. Um, I come to the office, man. Somebody gives me a schedule and I start banging out. Okay. A guy told me this when I was 20, I was 25 years old, maybe 26. And I was having trouble getting started in life, right? I was having trouble going. He's like, Grant, I had a lot of problems in my life at that time. And he's like, Grant, you got to get one discipline in. One, okay? Show up, even if your eyes are bleeding. And my eyes were literally bleeding back then because I was in a tremendous amount of grief in my life. I had a big grief, literally a grief lock from a loss I had had earlier in my life. And I was like crying constantly. Like I was just like, I was gutted. And he's like, Grant, show up even if your eyes are bleeding. And I have enacted that now for 42 years. No matter how bad I feel, dude, I try to show up.
No, it's just pure discipline. That's awesome. I'm curious because you talk about massive action, 10x, go, go, go. People would see you and say, I don't know where that guy sleeps. How does he do anything? But do you take time to yourself? Like, do you, the Franklin audience, for example, talks a lot about personal time and planning and having some time for both thought reflection or even get back to your mission and purpose. Do you get any of that time and do you
Oh,
have
yeah.
time to yourself?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I 3 or 4 times a year. I mean, when I went, I did 20 minutes on the bike. I'm by myself. I mean, but more importantly, 3 to 6 times a year, I go spend a week with my church looking for blind spots,
Mm,
looking for things that I'm doing. When you're a kid, you're 17 years old, your ethics level is different than when you're 67 years old.
yeah.
As you become more aware in life, I didn't have any money when I was 17. Now I have some. Okay. My ethics level changed. My responsibility level changed. My understanding and ability to affect and infect and affect the surroundings because of my position in life today is different than when I was 17.
Yeah.
That being said, if I had the same moral code or compass that I had when I was 17 that I have today, I have blind spots and I can't see, dude. Like, you know, when I was 17 years old, it was a different game than today. And so I look for blind spots. I look for, hey, where else can I expend my energy? Who else can I help? Is it just me and I take care of my stuff and my kids, or could I extend my audience? Could I extend my family to include more people than just people that grew up with me?
Yeah, even your perspective probably changes as you get older. So you find different blind spots in addition to your goals are
Yeah,
changing, right?
yeah, and my limitations, by the way.
Mm,
Okay, my ability to help more people. Just because I can help more people, I have more money and I have more influence, doesn't mean my skill set raised.
yeah.
What do I need to learn now that's different than the skill set I had 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, or 10 months ago? Basically, when I was 52 years old, dude, I reconstructed my whole life 15 years ago. Reconstructed all of it, started from zero. This is not working. I was 52 years old. None of this is working. I had a home. We were in California. I had two kids, a marriage. I had no clue what I was doing. I had three employees. I had a broken business. I reconstructed everything and started over. Sold the house, moved from California, got rid of the business, started from zero and rebuilt. And we built the life we wanted. And then we decided, oh, kids are I'm not driving my kids to school 45 minutes to school every day and then picking them up and not being with them.
Yeah. You put first things first and the rest
Yeah,
just fell into
yeah,
line, right?
yeah, yeah. And
What do
and
you
then
think is
we
Go
didn't
ahead.
give ourselves any excuses for doing it, because I know some people are
Mm,
listening right now. You're a nurse, you're a single mom, and you're like, oh, I'd like to do that too. But then you're going to blame it on your job and you're going to be like, I can't do that. Hey, I had all that stuff too, dude. Trust me. I have all the excuses everybody else has times 1.7 billion
wow.
excuses.
W- Yeah. At the end of the day, you're creating something that's bigger than I know you, your family, and everything you're doing. What impact do you want people to feel long after your business wins are forgotten? What's your goal? What's your long term?
Look, I mean, if I can be an inspiration to anybody, that'd be cool, you know? If anybody's inspired by this no nonsense kind of attitude that I have. Um, I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not trying to motivate anybody to do anything. But if a person would be, have, oh, wow, dude, that guy's a pretty good example of no bullshit, says it the way it is, made it in America. When it's hard, it's hard. It's not easy to make it, but it's easier than not making it.
Well, I'll tell you what, you are definitely leading your life and not worried about what people are thinking around you, which is what, even though you're so powerful on social media, you don't do it for that reason. And so it's pretty amazing. We always like to leave our audience with a challenge and respect your time. So I want to ask you this question. What would you say to an individual that might be having great success? They might be doing what they think is really well. What would you say to challenge them to grow their vision, to think 10x?
Yeah, I'm in front of a lot of people. I got a lot of data points. We have 255,000 customers in our 10x health business, hundreds of thousands of people that we have consulted with their companies, their businesses, their employees, from millions of data points. I hit about 2 billion people a year on social media. So we got all this data coming in, right? Most people think they're doing good because of their financial situation. My house is paid for. I got some life insurance, a retirement account, 401k is doing all right. I got some money in the bank. Okay. But if I pull all that away from you and say, take all that money and I want you to drop it into one illiquid investment where you can't get it again. Next week, you can't go tap it. Okay. Most people think they're doing good because they're like, I can go get my money market. I can go get my 401k. Yeah, right, right. But if you would dissolve all that and be illiquid, how are you doing now? Okay. I did a show called Undercover Billionaire. Discovery Channel dropped me off in Pueblo, Colorado. They said, you have $100. You cannot use your name. You cannot use social. They gave me a new phone. They took my phone from me, gave me a new phone that had no contacts in it. Changed my name from Grant Cardone to Lewis Curtis. And they said, how long would it take you to make, to build $1 million business? I said, take me maybe, I don't know, maybe 45 days, maybe 60. They said, you have 90 days. I did it in 88 days. During COVID, and because I knew I didn't need any money. Okay. The point I'm making, George, is like, you don't need a reservoir. You don't need savings. You don't need stuff if you have a strategy, and if you have a target, and if you have ambition, and you're willing to communicate with people, and you're willing to make decisions, and extrovert yourself into society and not make excuses. So that would be what I would tell people, man. Could I drop you off anywhere in the world? No. I'm gonna make it easier. Anywhere where they speak your language. Could I drop you off there and you could take care of yourself? I didn't have food, water, or a place to live. And within 24 hours, I had a place to live, food, and water, comped. Within 10 days, I had a car, a brand new truck. Okay. Discovery Channel hated this. They hated this because they're like, bro, you're making this look too easy. This is not a TV show. I'm like, okay, but it's not that hard, bro. There are tens of millions of vacant homes in America. There are tens of millions of cars that are not being used, okay? There's restaurants all over America that would give you a damn tab if you knew how to go in and ask them for the tab, bro. They're throwing away food in this country every single day, but nobody knows how to hustle anything.
Wow. So that's what I love how you think. No, I love how you think, and it's so true. Yeah. I mean, some people are just caught in this, how they see themselves as far as wealth or success, and you're driven by more than that, obviously. But I love that recommendation.
So I would just tell all the young kids out there, I would to the kids out there, it has never been easier, ever, in my lifetime to make money than it is right now today. I would rather things to be more expensive and have more opportunity than have less opportunity and things be cheaper. To the people that are older, 50 and older, okay? You guys, there's never been a better opportunity. First of all, you're going to live longer than your money. So don't let the government tell you when to retire, because you should be working until you're 84, maybe 94. I will be. And you're going to need way more money than your retirement account's going to handle. Go get busy. Go get the hustle on, bro. You'll go back to work. And to everybody else in between, the 20-year-old and the 55-year-old, okay, you guys, you have no excuses at all. Beat out the kid that's got too many excuses, and beat out the old guy. Just crush him, okay? Beat out the old guy that says he's too old.
I love how you think, man. It's like you said, surround yourself with the right people, not anybody that's not at the level you want to be at or below. Like you've got to surround yourself with the right people.